Welcome to the Today Show. I'm your host, Jay Stoyan. Beautiful day here downtown Toronto. We're very excited because on the show today, we have founder and chair for Voices Against Trafficking. We have on Andi Buerger, wonderful lady doing wonderful things for people who really need the help. And I want to thank Andi and her team, Voices for Trafficking, for supporting our December 1st fundraiser for veterans out here in Burlington, Ontario. It was a great success. Freedom Train knocked it out of the park once again. So again, I want to thank Andi Buerger. She donated a few of her wonderful books, novels for our silent auction. So thank you. And they both went. So thanks again, Andi. Stay tuned. You're watching the Today Show. We'll be back with Andi Buerger, and she's also an author. So stay tuned. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Today's Show. On the show today, we have Andi Buerger. Andi, thanks for being on the show today.
Well, thank you, Jay. It's an honor. I can't wait.
This is great. Well, yeah, thanks so much for supporting our fundraiser on December 1st. It was a wonderful sellout. The books were wonderful, I hear. They went on the silent auction table. So this is great. So Voices Against Trafficking, what a great cause. I mean, our children are our gems, right? So tell us a little bit about what you do, your title. I know you're the chair and founder, and then we can just get into it.
All right. Yeah, absolutely. And you're right. Children are precious and they are the future of any country, any community. And so they really need to be protected and revered and valued and raised, with the consciousness of just so many things, but they need to be children too. So Voices Against Trafficking is kind of a network of networkers. So imagine a wheel and we are the hub. And every spoke, Jay, is like an individual or another nonprofit or an organization. The more spokes we have in that wheel, the further we can go, the stronger it is. And so in 2019 on Capitol Hill in the US, we launched Voices Against Trafficking, thanks to some great friends in Congress at that time. And from there, we started our own human rights movement without being able to walk on Washington because of the pandemic. So we have done it through connections, relationships, and so on. But in that time, we've brought out a couple of books, a magazine. We're going to have a CD. We have a TV show coming out because our main focus is to reach as many people as possible with the awareness worldwide about human trafficking, what it really is, what it means to communities, and what it means to really the success and survival of any country if it allows it to continue unchecked. And then also, if we create greater awareness, hopefully that creates greater prevention. And prevention is how we stop the traffickers and the human predators, as I call them. And with prevention, that inspires action. So we are all about trying to reach people with different tools, just like you're doing today, which I really appreciate, getting the message out to your audience and to have that partnership. Happy to support in any way what you guys are doing as well, because victims of human trafficking often have many disabilities involved. So Voices is out there. We've had a great 5-year run, and we're ready to rock the world this year with a lot more.
Well, I know you're located out in Oregon, the USA, but I know this is obviously a worldwide venture. Now, it just seems like human trafficking is so much more in the news over the last few years. And do you find that too, Andi?
Absolutely. Unfortunately, it's been around probably since the beginning of time when humans were traded for labor, sex, debt reduction. But in the US, unfortunately, we have had a lot of national stories about it, people that have been powerful getting arrested, Hollywood people, all of that. We've had movies, lots of movies like the Taken series, which was well done, Sound of Freedom. So we have a lot more people starting to wake up and say, wait a minute, this is not good. Okay. And in the US right now, every 40 seconds, a child 18 years and under is abducted. That means they're taken or lured into something that looks safe. But Jay, I found that in other countries too. The predators, especially online, are looking for your kid, for your niece, your nephew. and they are a lot smarter than we think they are.
Well, this is great. Thank you for educating our viewers. Unfortunately, we were supposed to be going live on Facebook, but technical difficulties, that happens today's age. But we're gonna post the edited version up on our Facebook. But this is great. So when it comes to human trafficking, Andi, can you tell us like what are the different sectors that people benefit? I mean, obviously everybody knows about the sex trade, right? But the
Mhm.
labor trade, right? Obviously cheap
Right.
labor. So sex, labor. Is there what other sectors that people may not know where they take advantage of that situation?
Well, one other section would be what we call debt repayment or debt indentures, because what happens is somebody says, "Well, smuggle my kid into the U.S., for example, and I'll pay you," and they can't pay, and then either they're taken or their child is taken and sold to cover that debt, so to speak, or other things. It could even be something as simple as um, enslaving somebody to work at someone's home. They're very rich or wealthy, and somebody owes them money, and so there's all kinds of small ways, but mostly you hear about the sex because even gangs are using that more than selling drugs in some places, because it's easier to sell a human being 20 to 25 times a day, which is the average for any victim of human trafficking. Especially now, think about a 12 or 13-year-old girl, which is the average age of a trafficking victim. So uh, who's going to go home and say, "Hey, guess what happened to me last night?" Right? No one's going to do that. The victims are brutally in pain and suffering. They're humiliated. They feel guilty. They're shamed. So, and then you go outside of that, like I said, the internet, we have upwards, at least in the US, of 800,000 predators a day looking for human product. So we need to be more diligent as a global community, as well as local communities and national communities, to help protect our kids and open conversations about human trafficking, because like you said, it's more in the news right now, but how many people really understand it or take the time to have a conversation with their preteen or teen to say, "Look, we're not trying to police you, we're trying to protect you." So, as a family, let's talk about what we learned in this book, or what we learned on the news. Or, well, I wouldn't trust the news all the time, but what we learned from Voices Against Trafficking.
So
or
let's do this. Can you share with me a few ways that you guys are combating it and a few ways for people to be, red alert? What are some of the signs and how are you combating against it, Andi?
Sure, absolutely. So besides the hard materials, the tangibles, like I mentioned, the forums online twice a year, the books and all of that, we are speakers. We are people out there talking to anyone that will listen, whether it's a church or a social group or a school or any kind of legislative platform. And so our charter members, which are on our site, voicesagainsttrafficking.com, they're very available to speak to your organizations worldwide, anywhere. We've got people that travel internationally with our information and our tools. One of our folks, Eric Karen, he's a special liaison to not just government entities for us, but internationally. So he's gone to Uganda and Kenya and Tanzania, and helping work with Homeland Security, training there, and giving our material. And they, in turn, are communicating with us about what they see. So with the Voices Against Trafficking, we're a network of sharing information: what's working, what isn't working, what needs to be done. So we're heavy on internet awareness. Absolutely. One of the things that I suggest to any parent anywhere in the world is, one, no matter how busy you are or how much you have to do, the time that you spend with your child of any age up to 18, even college students, is going to be the most critical in saving their life at some point. In our country, on college campuses right now, that's the most dangerous place for a female 18 to 24 years old.
I love what you just said. And as a dad myself to a 25-year-old daughter, my daughter today, or for I say probably since she was about 19 or 2018, she says to me, she goes like this: "Okay, Dad, I'm good. You've loved me for 18 years to the point where, oh my God, there comes my dad. He wants a hug." because she was a national swimmer. So we
Mm-hmm.
went across the country at 4 o'clock in the morning because she had to be in a pool by 5. And
Wow.
they swim 6 days a week. So I was with my daughter, but what you said, spending time with your
Mhm.
child is so important because it shapes who they are as they grow up. So for
Absolutely.
myself, I was a hands-on dad to the point where my daughter today goes, "I'm good, Dad. I'm good. I'm good." But
Bear
and that's
hug.
what I learned. That's what I learned from my mom and dad, right? My mom and dad were always there for me, and they're still there, right? But always there for me. I just had to turn around, and there's my dad, and there's my mom, and no one would ever touch me. So you're doing a great thing. Let's take a quick break, and when we come back, let's talk about your books. How's that?
Okay, sounds
What?
great.
Okay, you're watching the Today Show. On the show today, we have founder and chair for Voices Against Trafficking and an author, Andi Buerger. She was kind enough to donate a couple of her wonderful novels for our silent auction back on December 1st. So we're very appreciative. Great show today, very informative. We're going to post this and post links, and you got a great team too. Let's talk a little bit about your team. So stay tuned. You're watching the Today Show. We'll be right back. The Disability Channel, showcasing abilities.
Friends, it's an absolute pleasure to send greetings as you gather for this fantastic fundraiser in support of the Disability Channel and Legion 60. Thanks to everyone involved for the important work you do for our veterans and people with disabilities. You're supporting them as they gain valuable work experience and helping build a stronger Ontario for everyone. You're all absolute champions. Your generosity is greatly appreciated, and I hope you have a fantastic event.
Welcome back to today's show. On the show today, we have founder and chair of Voices Against Trafficking. We have Andi Buerger, and she's also an author who was kind enough to donate a couple of her novels for our fundraiser back on December 1st. So, Andi, let's talk about your book, and I know you guys also have a wonderful team. So, first, talk about your book and maybe give you a little bit of meat and potatoes. What's going on in the book for our viewers?
Sure, absolutely. Well, one of the books which tells a little bit more of my story and 4 stories of kids that we actually rescued off the streets here in Central Oregon. And I apologize for my voice. I've been speaking a lot this week, but that one is called A Fragile Thread of Hope: One Survivor's Quest to Rescue. That's on Amazon.com. And we give 45% of proceeds to children of child or victims of child abuse or child sex trafficking. That was kind of a toe in the water to explain to people that not every teenager or young person is a rebellious one. They're not all runaways by choice. The ones that we rescued were running from something worse than they thought was on the street. So then the second book came along, Voices Against Trafficking: The Strength of Many Voices Speaking as One. We decided that, you know what, we need to hear from other people around, from Canada, from Mexico, from Europe, from Australia, from Africa. And so we put together maybe about 18, 20 chapters, short chapters. So it's almost like a handbook. In fact, here's the first one. And so
Very nice.
that's also on Amazon.com. proceeds also help victims. And that book is kind of a great handbook, Jay, for anyone to have in their personal home library, in their school library, mental health, because there are perspectives from media members, from other survivor leaders like myself, from people that had their aha moment while they were traveling, moms that thought everything was okay until something happened, to one of their children. So there's a variety of different perspectives on the human trafficking and what can be done, what has been done, and personal experiences. So that is a great little handbook. We're going to have our second edition, so to speak, of this coming out in late 2024. Morgan James Publishing is going to take that for us. So we're excited about that. So those are the books. Okay, people can get those very readily, very inexpensively, digital version or print version. And we were thrilled to donate to you. We just
it's very nice.
And glad that those books went. I would have felt bad if nobody wanted them.
No, they went. Yeah, actually, everything went off our silent auction table. We were very lucky. We had a really kind and generous crowd. So
great.
It was great. So can you tell us what you guys have coming up in the future now a little bit?
We do. We had our very first magazine called Voices of Courage, published in January of 2023. And so we were very excited. I had a little mishap, and so I was immobile with a crushed ankle for about 4 or 5 months. So, what else is there to do? Well, let's create a magazine. So
there you go.
Our second edition, our second volume just came out. And what this magazine is about, Jay, is it celebrates local, or rather everyday heroes that are fighting the fight for all humans' rights. So every human deserves to have their rights valued and protected worldwide. So we have everyday heroes, we have some known heroes, and it's kind of half book, half magazine, one of those coffee table type magazines. And so we are very excited about that. That can also be found on our website. And for anyone watching the show on the Disability Channel, we would like to offer them something very special, 40% off a 1-year subscription, which gives them both magazines a year. So we want you to know what the truth is about not just human trafficking, but other human rights violations that are happening worldwide and locally and nationally. So that was something, we were very excited. And again, proceeds go to help us do what we do as a nonprofit, but you also get something of value in return. We always want to make sure it's a win-win with people who support us, people who are helping us like you are as a partner in the media, things like that, because that's the best way to have a transaction, right?
That's great. Well, I was going to ask you for a tip, but I think you already provided the tip, and that's spend as much time with your kids as you can, right?
That's one of them.
Yeah. So if people want to find out any more about your platform, if they want to support or they want to donate or they want to just get involved, where could they go? How could they get involved?
They can go to voicesagainsttrafficking.com and you will find a lot of information. You'll find our store there and you'll find a donate button. And more importantly, you will find helplines and hotlines that will help people that and if they are not ones that are applicable to your country, then there are ones that we can find for you. So you can email us directly, voicesaginsttrafficking.com, and we will keep you posted on all our happenings, like our safety program, how to be aware and stay safe, how to use a special code in your family so that your daughter at college, if she's in trouble, it's going to be something she can text and to go get her. Or if she's at school, or if your young son is starting to socialize and he's going to a party, tweenies, preteens, every family should have a specific code, something generic like pick up take out the trash or pick up the groceries, something that a predator wouldn't necessarily spot as a.
That's a great point.
So I want everyone to have that today, that you can do that with your family when you see that.
All about inclusion and really giving everyone a fair say.
Welcome to the Today Show. This is our flagship show. I am Unstoppable Tracy.
I am Zach Damon.
It is a pleasure to be here. I am excited. What is up?
We have a great show today.
Jay Stoyan here for the Disability Channel, the world's only inclusive channel for and by persons with disabilities.
Get ready to be inspired, everyone.
We have people watching from all over the world, but also all over Ontario.
We also
take a concerted attention in the veterans community.
In moments of stress and trauma, we can get a hold of ourselves.
To help make a difference for people with disabilities, to show people how to love themselves or their disability.
I appreciate it. I appreciate you guys having me, giving this platform for myself and other people with disabilities.
Thank you so much, folks, for joining us for this episode of the Disability Channel of Detroit. Please tune in next time.
Hi, I'm Karina Gould, the Member of Parliament for Burlington. I'm very sorry I'm not able to join you this evening due to unforeseen circumstances, but I hope you have a wonderful fundraiser. I really want to give my hats off to Jay and the Disability Channel for coming up with this idea and implementing it and doing such tremendous work to support folks with disabilities and veterans. At the federal government, we are pleased to support the Disability Channel and partner with them, particularly through their unique EI program. Your work tonight, your efforts fundraising are making a big difference in the lives of people here in this area and giving them an opportunity to participate in media and find their calling. So I hope you have a successful evening. Once again, I'm very sorry I'm not able to be there, but big congratulations to Jay and the whole team for your vision, for your leadership, and making this channel a reality. Congratulations and have a wonderful evening, everybody.
Welcome back to the Today Show. I'm your host, Jay Stoyan. On the show today, again, we had founder and chair for Voices Against Trafficking. We had Andi Buerger. She's doing wonderful things. Again, our kids are the most precious things in our lives. Do take care of them. Before we go, I just want to give a couple updates. Again, we're going to be at the Super Bowl again on Media Row with Dave Stevens and GSS for the 7th or 8th year in a row, interviewing everybody and anybody. Check us out. We're going to be going live on Restream, on Facebook, on Twitch. Lots of exciting news. Again, enroll in our programs for persons with disabilities and veterans in media. Check us out, www.thedisabilitychannel.ca. We offer programs so you can get off assistance and get a job in media, either in front of the camera or behind. Stay tuned for Invictus Games updates. Lots going on. Hey, make sure you purchase our 50/50 tickets. They're on our Facebook page, and it's all about the cash. So again, make sure you tune into our radio show, Sirius XM. Again, I'm Jay Stoyan. You're watching the Today Show. We'll see you next time. Have a great day.